Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Today is my daughter's 17th birthday. And so I sat down today while I was spending some alone time with God. We got up early and got a chance to be able to do a little morning routine before my daughter got up, and then I got to go to Starbucks and get her latte with the pumps and all the stuff. I don't know what's in it, but it's just in my app. But I got to do that. And I sat down in my alone time after we had done the gifts and everything like that for her. And God was really strong on me with 3 words. It was stop, look, and listen. And I was questioning this morning because I was like, stop, look, and listen. What do you mean? And he just reiterated, stop, look, and listen. Your daughter's 17 years old. Sometimes you get moving so fast that you blink your eyes, and she was 3, and you were, I used to scratch she used to make me scratch her back and lay in a mini bed. It was this Minnie Mouse bed that we had next to our bed, and she used to sleep in that. She used to make me sleep in the bed with her and scratch her back, and this was like 2 years old, 3 years old, whatever it was. I blinked my eyes, and my little girl is 17 years old. If you're a parent right now of a young child, make sure that you savor every single second, because you'll blink your eyes and it'll be gone. And God was encouraging me today to stop, take a breath, look around and see all the amazing blessings that are happening in my life, not focusing on the silliness that maybe I want to be better. And then to listen to his word, to listen to his love, and listen to all the amazing things that he will say about me, and actually believe him and accept him and walk in him. And that's what I want to encourage you today is just to stop, take a breath and look around you and count all your blessings, like my mama would say. Look around at all the incredible little tiny miracles that had to take place for you to be in the spot where you're in right now. And listen to God's voice today. Listen to his voice, because he built you, he made you, and he's telling you some things. Some of them you don't want to hear, but he's telling you those things because he knows where you've been. He knows what you're going through right now, and he knows what's on the way. He loves you, and he wants you to walk in that peace, love, and joy that he has. And I want to invite you to do that, because honestly, I blinked my eyes, boom, and my daughter was 17. So I want to encourage you today that when the holidays hit, which they're hitting right now, and there's going to be stresses, there's going to be things, there's going to be family, there's going to be all these different dynamics, for you to stop, look, and listen, and see all the blessings that are around you, and accept those and walk in them, because that'll produce the love in your life, it'll produce the peace, and it'll produce all the joy that you need to be able to get through this holiday season, and to be able to savor it, every single second of it. Those words, stop, look, and listen, what I realized, my parents never said those exact words. Maybe they said them at some point, but it wasn't an emphasis. But their whole life reflected the meaning of those 3 words. So in Proverbs 12 today, it gives us a masterclass on how to stop, look, and listen. And I tell you, when you listen to the whole podcast, and when you get to the end, I promise you watch to the end, you could take this masterclass and seriously work on this one for the next couple of months. Although this is just the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day. That's how God works. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, and this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. We begun surfing waves too low, made our own rules everywhere we go. Held tight to the truth that our parents declared. Anything is possible, the love stayed there. Now Rob's daughter ballin' on the end scene, Olay scene. Will's kids live dreams we never could have seen. This the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights.
Stop, look, and listen. You need to look at your soundboard too. If you're like, I got a chance to be able to get the Roadcaster video. And I tell you, Rode, reach out to a brother because this thing is absolutely amazing. It's a production studio. Now, when people are in the studio, I'm able to live switch, do those kind of things. But I had to push the button to switch it over from the last scene. If you just saw that. But stop, look, and listen. These things, these 3 words hit me so hard, and Proverbs 12 seriously gave us a masterclass in it. It's crazy, though, because the way that God has been working lately, not just lately, but I think I'm recognizing it more and more, is it's almost like a game. 3,000 years ago, these texts, Proverbs was written, 3,000 years ago, somewhere around there, and how it's applying is unreal. And so when you start reading the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day, not from a religious standpoint, not from a ritual standpoint, but from a relationship standpoint, it starts to draw you into what we call the wisdom cycle. And that wisdom cycle is the fear of God brings wisdom. Wisdom brings knowledge. Knowledge brings understanding. Understanding brings insight. Insight brings discretion. Discretion brings discernment. Discernment brings discipline. And discipline brings strength, which leads you right back to the fear or respect of God. And I said that last night, and it was a little overwhelming, I think, because I said it to my friend Jen, and a big shout out to Jen Moses and Shauna Martin, who bought our company in Las Vegas, and they are doing amazing. If you guys haven't been, if you're in Las Vegas and you haven't been to Style and Grace Hair Gallery, actually, if you haven't been there, then you don't live in Las Vegas or you don't want great hair. This salon is absolutely phenomenal. It was the first business that I ever built, the first business that my pops, and we sat outside and we saw the name go up, and it was formerly Kelly Cardina Salon. It was our very first one. And, but they have taken it, Shauna and Jen, so Shauna Martin and Jen Moses there on Fort Apache and Patrick, 6015 South Fort Apache. That's the address. And I tell you, greatest service and greatest hair that you'll ever have. Like that's the place, that's the Mecca. And you want to go there and you want to see them. And if you get a chance to be able to see Justin or Tatiana or Jamie, the whole crew is just unreal. But I was talking with her yesterday, and I think I overwhelmed her a little bit because I went through the wisdom cycle. She was saying that, she needed some discipline in some areas. And I was like, well, if you're lacking discipline, it's actually not discipline that you need. It's actually discernment. And then the discernment is not what you need, it's discretion. And the discretion is not what you need, it's insight. And insight's not what you need, it's understanding. But understanding comes from knowledge. But the knowledge is useless unless you have wisdom. And wisdom comes from the fear of God. And I could tell by that time she kind of went silent, and I was like, it was a little overwhelming. But that's the wisdom cycle, right? And so most of the time we're looking for wisdom in certain areas of our life, and it all roots back to just the fear of God, spending a little bit of time with Him. And when I did this morning, it always blows me away because my daughter, it's her birthday today, so it's a special day. It's the 12th, so she was born on 12/12. I wish it would have been cool if it was 12/12/12, but it wasn't. It was 12/12/08, I believe it was. Maybe I'm not that great of a dad, and I shouldn't be telling her birthday either. But, it's incredible this wealth of knowledge that God gives us if we'll just stop, look, and listen, right? So if we stop long enough, take a breath, and count our blessings. This is what my mom said: count your many blessings, count them one by one. And when we do that, it's nuts because you'll settle in and you'll see all the amazing things that are happening if we look at all the simple miracles that are around us that have to happen and had to take place for us to be in the spot where we're at. It's nuts. Like I have a woman, Jessica Hermosillo. So I want to give a huge shout out to you. It's a huge blessing. I spoke to Sport Clips just recently. I got to speak to companies on their culture and how to be able to light their culture on fire, which is if you want to build your business, you'll just build the people in the business. And the way that you build the people is that you speak life to them. And it just means you use their name and something specific that inspired you. It'd take about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. And you could do this for employees. Well, Jessica Hermosillo, she did this to me. So I got done speaking to Sport Clips, and she reached out and she said, she sent me a video, and it was just so amazing. And she's just been so great. And I tell you, her son watched the podcast So I want to thank you. You know who I'm talking about. And your mom, Jessica, is such an incredible, incredible human being. And she's building people. And I watched her. I got to be on her call the other day, and it was awesome. Team Shearer in Kentucky, and this group of people, they sat and they spoke life, but they also had data. So they had the data of what their company was and where they wanted to go, but they also wrapped it in love and they lifted each other up. And I got to be on the meeting, and it was just, unreal. They do this every single week. So Jessica, great job on leading. Your son should think you're cool every single day because you are cool. And make sure, if you are listening, which I know that you are, actually, I think that I have his name too. So let me look in this and see if I do have his name, because I want to shout you out and I want to tell you that you need to listen to your mom. Jessica Hermosillo, got it. No, she didn't say her son's name, but I do want to tell you, if you are Jessica Hermosillo's son, your mom is cool. Your mom works hard. Your mom has given so many silent sacrifices, and I want you to honor her every single day. Tell her you love her, because there is going to be the day, I promise you, that you wish you would have told her. You're going to blink your eyes, and things are going to change. So love on her as much as possible, and do that for me today. I appreciate you. So let's get into this masterclass of Proverbs 12, because honestly, it is, it's absolute fire. And I think that you could take the the whole month and just sit in this. And I didn't realize it. I wasn't even going to record today, but I was just so on fire from spending a little bit of time with God this morning that I was like, I got to get this out. I got to get this to the place. Do me a favor too. Here's my ask. Okay. I need you to go to Spotify, YouTube, or Apple, whichever platform, or all of them. I need you to subscribe to the podcast. That's all I need you to do. Do that. Well, not all I need you to do. Do that, and then leave a review. If you like it, leave a review, but leave a real review. I'm not asking for 5 stars if you don't think it's 5 stars, but leave a review. It helps out in so many different ways. And then check out our Substack, subscribe to it, and become a paid member of it. It is something that, is a work of love, but also what I said earlier is that a lot of times, like in the event that you don't have any skin in the game, you don't have the tendency to listen up as much. It's not a big investment. It's very small. It's like $8 a month, $9 a month. The money doesn't matter to me. It just gets people's attention. So, but let's hop into Proverbs 12. So Proverbs 12 commands us to stop, look, and listen to God's wisdom and accept his overwhelming love. Imagine if we stopped long enough to take a breath and realize what God's wisdom was, that we listened, that we looked around and saw all the amazing things that he's doing, and then we actually listened to it. We listened to it over and over again. So we stopped long enough to be able to become aware of it. We looked around and we saw all the amazing things that God does in our lives and in other people's lives. And then we just started to listen to it and listen for it. And we started to seek it. And then we started to pay attention to it. It's overwhelming what will happen, and you'll be able to accept his love, especially during these times. It's not, during the holidays, whether it be personally, professionally, spiritually, or financially, we're all going to be going through something. We're going to be going into valleys or dark places or things like that. And I just want to lift you up, and I want to tell you that it's going to be okay. Bless me. I got to be blessed on that one. So, and maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe I won't. But let's hop into Proverbs 12. The love of discipline will bring the love of knowledge. When you love discipline in your life and you invite it into your life, and what I would suggest is that we seek out something that we trust, that is proven, and allow that to discipline us. And because if not, sometimes we get, I was spending some time with God the other day, and I didn't capitalize Jesus's name while I was writing. This is the first time that I had ever done it, or to my knowledge. And what God hit me on, he convicted me right away. And he said, when you make me lowercase, I become unimportant in your life. And when you capitalize things that are unimportant, they become the priorities in your life. And I was like, wow. And then he reiterated it because I got distracted and I was looking on my phone and I was going through LinkedIn, I was going through Facebook, and I was going through all these things, the death scroll. And God was like, look, you just capitalized something that was supposed to be lowercase, and you lowercase something that was supposed to be capitalized. And he said, that's when you'll have challenges. And so I want you to sit in this for a second. The love of discipline will bring the love of knowledge. And when you have knowledge in your life, when you bring knowledge into your life and you learn things, it's amazing what starts to happen. Your mind starts to expand, your heart starts to expand, all those things. But make sure that you prepare the soil, and that soil, knowledge is the seed, but the soil is wisdom, and wisdom is the right use of knowledge, and that only comes from the fear or respect of God. So that's the beginning of the wisdom cycle, so check that out. In verse 2 and 3, stop long enough to evaluate. This is probably one of the hardest things to do, is just to stop. Take a breath, to breathe. I was talking with my friend James about this the other day, and we were evaluating one of the speakers that we saw, and they generally never take a breath. Sometimes this is myself. I fall victim to this. I was talking to my friend Stephanie Kachelski. Big, huge shout out to her. I absolutely love you, and you're a huge mentor. And I sent her a podcast, and she was like, take a breath. Take a breath, slow down. Imagine what we can do. In verse 4, good relationships produce great results. This is a thing that my friend Will, big shout out to him, his mom was always huge on, is she said, choose your friends wisely. Choose your friends very wisely, choose your relationships very wisely, and good relationships will produce great results. And if you're not getting great results in your life, stop for a second and evaluate the relationships in your life. And I guarantee you, most of the time, it's going to be a root of the challenge. In verse 5, allow God to direct your steps. This was a big thing with my pops. My pops was constantly this way. God directs the steps of a righteous man. What is righteous is just doing the right thing. And how do we know what the right thing is? Well, we spend time with God, and then he tells us what it is. And so righteous is not some, self-righteous or, hey, I'm better than you. It's just, no, you're waiting to hear the right thing to do. And the way that we could do that is we stop long enough to be able to take a breath and spend time with him. In verse 6, 13, 14, 18, 19, and 22 is speaking life is essential. Speaking life is just this. Use somebody's name. Do this today. I promise you, this will change the game, whether it be in your personal life, your professional life, your spiritual life, your financial life. If you want any of those to grow, those 4 areas of your life to grow, just do this. Speak life to people. Even right now, pause the podcast and text somebody, but text them something very specific that inspired you. And I tell you, watch what happens. I want to give a big, huge shout out to Joe Schumpert. Joe Schumpert has been a supporter of me since, we've been friends for probably 13, 14 years. But he's been a supporter of the podcast. He's been a supporter of the Vibe Room. The guy is an unbelievable guy. I reached out to him and I said, hey man, you have been so meaningful to me that I want to send out. I've got a promo code that I want to send out to you that will get you a preferred price for the Vibe Room. And he responded back, no, I want to pay full price because I support my friends. And Joe Schumpert, you're a man. Like you're the man. You're incredible. This guy is an unbelievable human being, and he's unbelievable father, unbelievable husband. And in his work, he's not only become one of the top in the plumbing game up in Dublin, California, but also he's giving back. He's going into state penitentiaries and teaching incarcerated people how to work the plumbing side, so when that way they get out that they have a trade to be able to work with. It's unbelievable. Joe, I want to speak life to you, and it's incredible. Another little man that I want to speak life to is Coy. Coy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He comments on every single podcast that I do. And Coy, I coached him. He's an incredible football player. I love this kid. He's got an incredible spirit, and he better be listening to his parents all the time, right? And treating his sister well and, doing what he needs to be doing at school. But Coy, I just want to tell you, man, you light me up, dude. Your comments on the podcast have been unreal. So let's see. I just wanted to reiterate, speaking life is essential. Whether do it by text, do it call, video call, any of those things. I got spoken life to by Chris Moose yesterday. And Chris, I love you, man. And he sent me a video and he just encouraged me. And he said, you're encouraging other people. I want to encourage you. And Chris, you're the man. I appreciate you. He flew all the way out from Texas to come to the Vibe Room just for that day to Carlsbad. The next one is March 11th, and I'm excited to see all of you. I know Joe Shumpert was the first person to sign up for it too. In verse 7 and 12, doing right creates a firm foundation. Doing right creates a firm foundation. If you want to build on something that is firm, and we all want to have a great foundation, just do the right thing. Well, what's the right thing? It's what God tells you to do. Well, how do I know? How will God speak to me? If we stop long enough, we look around and then we listen, I guarantee you'll start to hear God talking. He's talking all the time, just like the radio station is on all the time. Just sometimes you're not tuned into that station. When you tune out of that station, doesn't mean that the radio station stops working. It just means you're not tuned into it. And what God wants you to know is if you stop long enough and you look around and then you listen, then you'll hear his voice because it's always there and he's always working on your behalf. And in verse 8, thought of the future will be praised and rewarded. This was a word, it's called prudence, and prudence wasn't something for me, especially I grew up with hip hop, gangster rap, De La Soul, and, De La Soul is not a gangster rap, I'm just switching over, but, native tongue, so Tribe Called Quest, Arrested Development, all these things, Public Enemy. Prudence wasn't a word that people were using. But when I looked at the meaning of the word, which just means thought of the future, I wanted to be prudent. I wanted to have prudence. And thought of the future will be praised by all, not only by God, but by man too. And it'll be rewarded. I promise you. So take thought of the future. I was just talking to my friend Jen Horder, and she was telling me, she's like, I got 6 years left in me. I said, what are you talking about? She said, I'm going to retire in 6 years. I said, wow, that's cool. She said, after 55, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing right now. I said, okay, that sounds good. But she has thought of the future because she's working her butt off now, doing all the things that she needs to do now because she wants to, in 6 years, not be doing those things. So she has thought of the future. Huge shout out to Jen, too. She's been a supporter since the beginning. Stay humble and never fake the funk. Fronting is a big thing, especially Instagram, YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, or Facebook, TikTok, all these things. A lot of times, guys, people are faking the funk. They're projecting a lifestyle that's a lot different than the one that they're living. And what God is saying is just stay humble. Like stay humble and hungry, like my friend Joe Shumpert, and never fake the funk. Like Joe is not faking the funk. Like if you meet him, he's an action figure. He went to the NFL, played in the NFL for seasons, but when he got out, he knew that wasn't the end. And so I just want to encourage you in this is just stay humble and never, ever fake the funk because people will find out. In verse 10, kindness is always cool. Kindness contributes. Being nice is out of obligation, but kindness is always contributing and it's always cool. In verse 11, work your land. This is a thing that, stop comparing yourself to other things and other people. This is the hardest thing in the world to do. I'm not charging you to do this. I'm just reading what Proverbs 12 talked about because I do this. I fall victim to it all the time. Comparison is the thief of all joy. That's what my brother says. And my brother is a sage and a stoic. That's what he says that he is. Big Rob, I love you more than life itself. And you're the man. I love you. I love you. I love you. Listening creates an unfair advantage. And my parents would always help me to realize this. You got 2 ears, you got 1 mouth. Listen more than you talk. But sometimes that's tough. And who do you listen to? I could tell you, you'll never be let down when you just listen to God. Spend time with him. Have a conversation. Because all the things that you've gone through, all the things that you're in right now, and all the things that are on the horizon, he already knows about and he's preparing you for, and he wants you to know that everything's going to be okay and that he loves you. Simple as that. But if you stop, look, and listen for long enough, you'll actually hear his wisdom, and that wisdom will be overwhelmingly filled with love, which will bring peace to you and give you joy. And joy is just the art of falling in love with your current circumstances to allow magic to happen. So take that. In verse 16, thought of the future causes you to stop and breathe. Thought of the future, prudence, causes you to stop and just breathe. And that's what I would encourage you to do today as much as you possibly can. Let me do something for you real quick. Sometimes I forget to turn on a light. But the thought of the future causes you to stop and breathe. And I would suggest during these holidays, while you're going through what you're going through, which, you know, whether you're going through stuff at work or at home, if you're a single mom, huge shout out to you. I believe it's Nikki on Team Shearer. She's got 4 kids, single mom. I want to give a huge shout out to you. The fact that you wake up every morning, the fact that you can take care of those kids, that you're still alive, it's a miracle, and you need to be celebrated at the highest level. All the single moms out there, I feel for you. The single dads, people that are having challenges at work, challenges within your marriage, your relationships, all those things. I want you to know that God sees that and that he's got you. But if you stop long enough, you look around and you listen, he will fill you up. He will fill you up, I promise you. In verse 17, 18, 19 to 22, so I guess this is pretty important, is speak the truth in love. Now, some people talk about speaking the truth. Oh, I just speak the truth and, it's harsh truth, whatever it is. But speak the truth in love. Make sure that you have love and data. This is in a company and in relationships, but let's just go to the business side. In the business side, if you have love and data, if you take and you say, I'm going to fill myself, I love this person, but I'm going to give them the raw data. And you do those things together, it is a match that will light your culture on fire. Because here is the actual production, right? Here is the productivity in your area and what you're doing. Now, I love you and I love who you are, but here's the actual productivity. And then we can start to look from that productivity where the breakdown in the system is. And most of the time, the breakdown in the system, which is just a list of your screw-ups, started in your culture. What are the things that you actually believe? Because what you believe becomes your systems. What your systems become your productivity and your efficiency. And then your efficiency ends up either giving the freedom or taking the freedom away to be able to innovate. And that if people have freedom to innovate and it's their idea, then they adapt to it immediately. But then we got to ask ourselves, how do the people in our organization feel about that? That's the business side of it. Let's take it to the personal part and the relationship part. If we look at the productivity, if we look at the results of what's happening in the family or the relationship, most of the time it's because the systems that are there or the lack thereof. And the systems are nothing more than a list of our screw-ups. Do you communicate and make things better? And that will be based off of the system or the culture, the belief system within your family or relationship. And that'll give people the freedom to innovate, try new things, have fun with it, and adapt immediately. But all wrapped around it is the way that your family feels about the culture of your family. And the only way that you could do that is to stop long enough to look around and then to listen. And that feeling that's wrapped around is actually what is the vibe. And as long as your belief system, your intentions, and your actions are in line, then your vibe becomes irresistible. But so speak the truth in love. That's a long one on that. Let's go to verse 20 is peace comes from stopping, looking, and listening, and this is where joy is produced. See, joy is the art of falling in love with your current circumstance and allowing magic to happen. But for that to be produced, you got to have peace. And for you to have peace, you got to be filled up with love. And for you to be filled up with love, you got to stop long enough, you got to look around, and you got to listen. But you got to listen to the right thing. What's the right thing? It's just spending time with the one who created you, right? And that's what God is calling you to do through Proverbs 12 today, is stop long enough to look around and see all the amazing things that he's created, and then it'll cause you to listen to his word. And what his word says is that you were built perfect right now, right here in this moment, and that he's big enough if he needs you outside of it. And I want to encourage you that he wants you to know that everything is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. He's working on your behalf, even when you don't know that he is, even when you're frustrated. And it was funny because at church the other day, I was listening to a message, and he said, I'm going to paraphrase it, probably kill it, but the pastor was talking about that most of the time people don't listen to God, and then they get mad at God for the results that are happening. Well, first of all, if you didn't spend time with him and you didn't listen to him in the first place, how are you going to get mad at him for the things that are happening? It's incredible that way, and I'm probably killing the whole paraphrasing and killing it, but it made sense to me. So when you slow down the game, things become clear. And I think the best example of this is Steph Curry. Steph Curry, like in the middle of it was towards the end of the game was tied. He's at the free throw line. He's chewing on his mouthpiece. You can see it. And he's smiling. And the caption just said, he's the only player that would be smiling in this time, because the game slows down for him. Because when he gets to the free throw line, it's basically automatic. It's automatic because of the preparation, because he's put in all of that work. But he's smiling during that time. He has joy because, you know what? He prepared for that moment. And what God is saying is he wants you to prepare for every single moment by just spending time with him, filling up on his love, which will bring you peace, and that peace will bring you joy. And when you have joy, then people will be attracted to you. And then whatever it is that you're doing and whatever it is that you're gifted at, whatever business that you have, people will be attracted to it, and you won't be on the stress side of it of, oh, wow, we're not producing enough money. Oh, wow, my people aren't, doing what they need to do. You'll be in a joy state, which that joy is falling in love with your current circumstances, because you'll know that if you're in that place, God put you there for a purpose. And I want to encourage you in it. Taking thought of the future, again, prudence will protect you. And this is a call out again, and it talks about prudence a lot. That's in verse 23, and I want to encourage you in that, is just take thought of the future. Prudence is massive. Write it on your mirror this week. In verse 24, right work rules. Right work is actually diligence. When you look at the word diligence, it just means right work. And the absence of diligence is lazy. Lazy is just to be busy, to do a lot of things that don't really matter. And diligence is doing what you were actually purposed to do. Right work rules. Diligence creates great rules, because when you're doing right work and you make a mistake or whatever it is, which you will because you're human, then you write it down. That becomes the rule. But when that's communicated to all the people, that all the rules are nothing more than a list of our screw-ups. And so this has a double-sided meaning. Right work rules. Like, it rules all the time. But imagine right work has rules. Take it for how you want it. This one hit me really hard in verse 25, is speak life to people. They need it. They need it. Stacy on the West Coast or East Coast, I love you. You and Dan, you guys have been massive supporters. You comment on almost every single podcast on YouTube, and I want to thank you so much for that. I want to speak life to JJ Boogie, too. He's the guitarist and drummer and front of the house for Arrested Development. You have been a phenomenal friend. It's been amazing since you were on the podcast. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to him. The guy is amazing. He just spent time with his mom the other day golfing, and he sent me a picture, and it was just awesome. You're a great, great human being. And I just want to let you know that you inspire me. And it means the world to me to have that communication. So speak life to people. They need it. Encourage people often. encourage them. And I want to encourage every single one of you. I want to encourage you, Coy, that everything's going to be okay. No matter what you're going through, no matter all those things, everything's going to be okay. And God is going to get you every single one of the desires of your heart. Vince from Jurassic Sport Fishing, I want to encourage you, man. You are an unbelievable human being. And Jeff Brunell, Jay's Barbershop in Lompoc, California. This guy is so solid, incredible human being. Him and Vince were at the Vibe Room, and it was just amazing. And I want to do a huge shout out to you. And Dee Dee Hudley and Harry Hudley, you guys are amazing. So encourage people as much as you possibly can. Watch this. Thought of the future without wisdom creates anxiety. I never realized this, but I just realized it this morning, and God's opened that up to me. Thought of the future, which is prudence, thought of the future without wisdom, and wisdom is the right use of knowledge, and that comes from spending time with God, creates anxiety. When you think of the future, but you don't have wisdom and you haven't spent time with God, and that gets your mind going, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And God wants to calm that mind by filling you up with love, bringing peace into your life, which will be the result of that, and ultimately producing joy in your life, which is the art of falling in love with your current circumstances and allowing magic to happen. You see, what I'm talking about is like Proverbs 12 is a masterclass. This is from one proverb, just one proverb, Proverb 12. Just read it. It's available to you. In verse 26, choose your friends wisely. In verse 27, laziness does not work. And laziness is not taking a rest. It's not being peaceful. We're talking about this, stopping, looking, and listening, stopping long enough and taking a breath. That's not lazy. But laziness is just doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Sometimes you can be busy, but you're lazy. And God calls us to be diligent. It just calls us to be a sniper as opposed to just shooting all random all over the place. Sniper, just one shot, bam, and be done. And finally, as we finish up here, is righteousness produces life. Righteousness produces life. And what is righteousness? Is just doing the right thing. It's thinking about the right thing. It's dwelling on the right thing. It's seeking the right thing. And what is the right thing? Is just spending time with the one who created you. That's it. And so righteousness produces life. And if you want to live this life to the fullest, then spend a little bit of time in the morning. Just spend a little bit of alone time. Get quiet. Ask God some questions. Bring a notebook. Ask God some questions. And then just listen. And the practice of doing the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day, simply just read it. Get the Inchstone's book. You could get it in the link in the bio. And when you get that, you read the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day, and then it just asks you 3 questions and kind of prompts you. What verse, hit your heart? What did it make you think about? And what action can you add to it today? But I did that because sometimes people need a little bit of structure to be able to spend a little bit of time with God. You don't need the Inchstone's book to spend time with God. You can just spend time with him. And that's what I'm going to do when I'm done here is I'm going to go spend some time on the beach with him, which I'm very excited about. My mama and pops may have never said the exact words, stop, look, and listen. But the meaning is on display, loud and clear. God is inviting, actually, he's commanding us to stop, look, and listen to his wisdom today because he knows what you have been through. He knows what you're dealing with right now, and he knows what's on the way. He wants you to know that he loves you and that everything is going to be okay. He just needs you to stop, look, and listen for long enough so you can accept his love, walk in his peace, and produce joy all over your life. And that's what he wants you to walk in today. And so I want to encourage you. In all that you're doing. Again, Proverbs 12 is an absolute masterclass. And this is available to us, and it's right under our nose. But a lot of times we don't take the time to stop, look, and to listen to all the wisdom that is available to us on a day-to-day basis. I want to thank every one of you for tuning in. Coy, I want to tell you I love you. Stacy, you're incredible. Vince, man, thank you for all your support. Joe Shumpert, I love you so much, man. You have no idea how much you inspire me. And you're an action figure. And every time that I look and see you doing pull-ups or doing all the weight that you can, I go out and pick up very small dumbbells and I try and emulate Joe Shumpert. And I just want to tell you, you're amazing. Natalie Richardson, thank you so much for your time, your effort, your energy. Lavelle, Casiero, you're incredible. I can't wait to spend a little bit of time with you. And that's my time today. Actually, I went a little bit over, but hopefully you have a phenomenal Friday. Read Proverbs 12 today. I promise you. It is a masterclass, an absolute masterclass. Subscribe to the podcast and to Substack. I love you so much, and I hope you have a great day. My name is Kelly Cardenas, and I'm officially off the hot seat. Peace, love, and soul.
Yeah, and this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small grooves into launchpad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launchpad flights. We begun surfing waves too low, made our own rules everywhere we go. Held tight to the truth that our parents declared. Anything is possible, the love stayed there. Now Rob's daughter ballin' on the end scene, Olay scene. Will's kids live dreams we never could have seen. This the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launchpad flights.